All right, I'm going to record. Okay, so this month is crazy, and y'all know these announcements if you saw the team page today. And make sure you go comment your goals because it's been really cool to see what everyone's working for. But it is retreat month. So if you are in the running, this is the month that this is what it all comes down to right here. I'm going to mute you guys as you get on. Sorry. I forget how to mute all, actually. All right. Also,
yeah, that'd be great.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime to be in Shaun T's test group. Okay, guys, Transform 20 is coming out in January, and basically look at it this way. You want to shoot for SC20 or higher because that's going to give you the best possible chance to qualify and be in the test group. Can you hear okay, Marie? I'm not muted. All right. Also, Lift 4 and Mestamos are $10 off. And that's pretty much the gist of it.
I am still here. Hello? I just put the account.
Isn't it funny, you guys, how like we always hear all of these voices? Okay, does anyone have any recognition that they want to bring to the table? Which we should, because we all finished with a really awesome end of our month last month. Anybody want to go? I want to shout out my coaches, Kristen and Sierra, because they are still in the running for the retreat, and they are super, super, super close to Diamond. And I also want to shout out Kristen, Sammy, Lydia, and Samantha, because they all locked in Success Club yesterday. They were one person away. Two of those girls actually hit Success Club 10 yesterday in one day. Lydia and Samantha, that's the first time they've ever hit Success Club 10, so that's super amazing. I'm so proud of you guys. Does anyone else want to go? Does anyone have anyone they want to shout out? Anybody? Come on. Nobody has any shout outs?
Hey, I posted mine earlier, but Vicky hit Success Club last night at like 10 o'clock. So I'm super proud of her for like just really diving in and not giving up. She did awesome.
That's awesome. Congratulations, Vicky. That does show so much heart. Seriously, you guys, like that's huge. Anybody else? All right, so I'm going to dive right in, and we decided to do this topic tonight because obviously this is a huge month. The qualifications for the retreat, the opportunity to be a part of Shaun T's test group, and August is like that transition month a little bit where we're coming from summer into fall, and it just takes like a little extra intention. And I want to, like, before I go into anything else, tell you guys that I really learned what a month feels like when you don't like write everything out, get intentional, have a plan, and set the bar high. It feels like you're literally like treading water. Do you guys ever feel like that? Like you're just like trying to stay above water, trying to hit Success Club, trying to rank advance, trying to just like get to that next level, but it always feels like you're getting like knocked back down every single time you make any, movements forward. You feel kind of like knocked back down, and that's why like coming back to that intention is so important. So the first thing I want you guys to know about how I run my business personally, and I'm sure Kelsey, Natalie, Jess, a lot of you guys would agree that this first day of the month is so important, and you want to bring the same amount of intensity to today as you did yesterday and the day before and the day before that, and maybe 10 days before that when you were, pushing the lock in Emerald, or you're pushing the lock in Diamond, or you're pushing the lock in Success Club. Because the first day of the month is so important to pull that momentum and keep it going. I always set a goal to be on the board in the first 3 days, at least helping 1 to 2 people in the first 3 days. That's always my goal, because I never want to lose momentum in the first couple days of the month. And then here I am like freaking out the rest of the month and stressing out the rest of the month about my goals. And that does not make this business fun. When we don't have a plan and we don't have intention, we start to get really desperate and we start to freak out, and the business gets stressful and we don't stay authentic, and all kinds of not very good things happen. So bring the same momentum that you had yesterday and the same intensity that you had yesterday trying to lock in your goals right into this month, because this month is even bigger than last month. I start with a list, okay? And hold on, let me grab something off my bulletin board. I always make sure I start sorry guys. I always make sure I start with a humongous master list. So you guys might have a bunch of different ways that you bring your people together and you have your list and you stay organized. I personally like to take everything from 1 month and put it in one place. I know what our last conversation was like, and I know where I want to start on day 1. So today I started by following up with all the people that were on the fence last month, because I've already built that relationship with them and we've already gone over probably, why they're interested, their goals, but maybe they didn't sign up, maybe they didn't follow through, maybe they were right there. And I'm going to go back to them today, and I'm definitely going to say that the sale is still going on, that I have a new group open for them if they're so interested. I wanted to let them know first to make sure they got the first couple spots because they were so interested. So I always start on day 1 with my follow-ups. I go back to my master list. I see who I've already talked to and created relationships with, and that I don't have to, start from square one with, because like I said, you want to get those quick wins in the first couple days. Okay. The other thing is that you never want to stop working, right? Like I feel like sometimes on the first couple days we get this like, oh, all right, I locked in my goal. I got 30 days. Everything's going to be fine. I have plenty of time. And when you work like that, you're shooting yourself in the foot. It's so much harder to build momentum back up than it is to just maintain momentum. So really remember that as you keep going. You guys mute your lines. Make sure you know when your next challenge group is. Okay, this is really important, and I'm going to break this stuff down for you guys a little bit more after this, but make sure you know what you're inviting to when it comes to your challenge group and your coach sneak peeks, and make sure you are like planning. Maybe you have like events or travel, really busy week of work, you're not going to be able to do as much here and there, and you have to plan your month around that. So I'm going to show you guys how basic I'm making it, and it's just a printed off calendar that I can write on for 2018. Nothing serious, nothing special, super basic, and I'm looking at it every single day. And I already have written on here all of my goals, and I have every single thing that I want to do on every single day. So first thing, I'm locking in my goal by the 9th, my Success Club goal, my first Success Club goal, which is SC20. So that is a non-negotiable goal this month because of the Shaun T test group. And if you guys have never even touched Success Club 10 and you're like, I don't know if I could even make it to Success Club 20, how do you even know? All that means is you're talking to more people. That's all like higher Success Club numbers mean. It means that if you're talking to about 100 people to help 3 people, then you're going to want to talk to 200 to 300 people to help 10 to 20 people. And don't forget completion packs for people that have been here a while. Don't ever rule out old customers. Always go back and offer them a new opportunity. You never know who is going to want to join you at this point and where they're at. Those are also the people that I go talk to first at the beginning of new months. The next thing I have on here is my new coach training, when that starts. Do you know on your calendar when you're going to plug in new coaches to a new coach training? So for example, if you're trying to push for Diamond right now and you have a couple people maybe in your challenge group that you're inviting to coaching, do you know what to plug them into or where to start them to start their journey as a coach? Have you set up a call with your upline to talk about how to help them reach Emerald in 24 hours? Have you taken the steps and broken those things down to see what hitting Diamond, hitting Emerald, bringing on new coaches, hitting Success Club 20 in 9 days looks like? So Success Club 20 in 9 days is talking to about 100 people in these first 9 to 10 days of the month. And that might be like, oh my God, probably more than that, honestly. That might seem like terrifying, but it's only like 5, 6, 7 conversations a day. And you're probably, if you're on a roll and you're really working hard, you should be having way more conversations than that anyway. So just make sure that you have these goals broken down, guys, because you don't want to wake up on, August 22nd and be like, oh my God, I got to hit diamond by tomorrow. I got to hit success club by tomorrow. How am I going to find all of these people? What am I going to do? So make sure that you have some sort of calendar that has your goals broken down on them. So if you want to be diamond by the 23rd, then when do you want to bring on your first coach? Say you're starting from literally no one. If you have all of the discount coaches that you need and you just need one emerald, they're hitting emerald by tomorrow, right? Like that's the kind of like serious intention and grind that we have to bring this month. The next thing I made last month that was like so valuable to me was this little sheet of paper. And basically what I did was at the top, I put people that I need to help, and they were blank circles. And every time I changed a life, I wrote a name in there and I circled it, like kind of just highlighted it. The next thing was my PS coaches in Success Club. I wrote their names underneath each circle, and every time someone helped someone, I put a tally mark in it. The next thing I did was rank advancements. So I'm working to help my coaches rank advance. And if y'all are trying to take this to the next level, you're doing that too. So maybe you have a spouse account or a family account or a potential coach, right? Like maybe they haven't even agreed to coach yet, but they're your potential dream team right there. Put their names down, and every single time they get closer to rank advancing, put a tally, put where they're at in like the whole scheme of things. The next thing was I'm working my mom's account, and I needed to have 2 discount coaches to regain my diamond rank in that account. So I made 2 circles, and every single time I brought someone on, I filled it in and wrote their name. The next thing was my volume. I want to grow my week like volume to 10,000. So I had 10 circles and I only filled in 7. But what this did for me every day, you guys, was it was not just like looking at my goals. It was looking where I was towards my goals, where I was at. If I saw that, one of my coaches was maybe at Success Club 4, I could message her, see where she's at, help her reach her goal. If I saw that my volume was low, I could navigate that a little bit, investigate that a little bit, see what's going on. But this really, really, really helped me have something to look at that's tangible every single day to stay on track. Because it's super, super easy to just look at your goal on a piece of paper and be like, yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah, I'll post this, Maureen. Yeah, I'm getting there. Like, I'm doing the things. I've got this. But when you know and you see it every single day, it makes a huge difference. Make sure you also know your team's goals. And what I'm going to say is super important. Make sure your energy is going where it needs to go. Because if someone is, maybe not showing up like they say they want to be because of the goals that they have, but you have somebody else over here who is crushing it and working really hard, you want to make sure your energy, goes to the places that it needs to go. And that's not saying like you're ignoring your coaches or you're ignoring your team, but somebody that's trying to, rank advance to diamond this month or hit Success Club 20 and 30 or go star diamond and make $1,000, $1,500 might take up more of your time and energy than someone that doesn't even have a Success Club goal this month. You have to put your energy into the people who are showing up, period. If they're not even posting on their social media, I don't know what we can do for them, right? They know that that's what they need to do. We know the basics. If you don't know the basics, you better be scheduling a call with your one-on-one. You better YouTube it. You better look at it in our team page. If you're a brand new coach and it's day 1 of your coaching business, that's a whole different story. But we know the vital behaviors, guys, and it's our responsibility to be doing those and be showing up. And as a leader of a team, if someone that's growing emeralds and diamonds and challengers even, make sure you're putting your energy where it needs to go. So for example, I'm going to break down diamond just like really quick. If you have your goal of diamond by the 23rd, And honestly, like if you're not even in the running for the retreat, I'm just looking you guys really quick. Why not push with the rest of the team? Like who cares if you maybe aren't in the running anymore to go to Orlando? But why not take advantage of the opportunity of every single, almost like 80% of this team page right now is pushing for that. Why not hop on board and why not challenge yourself? Say you need 8 people right now, right? You're not even an emerald and you need 8 people. That's all Diamond is. And when you look at it like that, how much less scary does that feel? That it's not, you know, because it's this big, you know, next goal where you earn all this income and you get to go to a retreat. Guys, it's simply just helping more people. That's it. That's all Diamond is. And I'm sure Kelsey, Jess, Natalie would agree with me that that's how basic it is. So instead of overcomplicating it and seeing it on a piece of paper and freaking out over it, just break it down to how many people each week you need to help in the next 3 weeks to achieve it. So say you need 8 people. All right, 4 this week, 4 next week. Help your spouse, help 2 people, and bring a friend on that is a hard worker and wants to run this business with you. When Rob Pearson said that in that 24 hours to Emerald video, I was like, I love that. I love that. Think of people in your life who are hardworking. Think of people in your life who are hardworking, because sometimes we want to just think of like, you know, I don't know, we make this some like fantasized thing, and it's like it comes down to hard work. I know I want someone next to me that wants to work hard and do really amazing things. So think of that person. Don't ever rule them out. They might be literally like 2 doors down in your neighborhood and you just never even thought like, oh, Janice might be a badass Emerald coach, right? Like, don't rule anyone out, because when you shut off your mind and you're freaked out by the goal, then you miss out on literally all that's in front of you and available, because we know Emerald is possible in 24 hours. So all we have to do is ask someone, invite them to the business, inspire them by their journey, and mentor them to being Emerald, and we're there. And guess what? All you do after that is repeat that. That's it. That's all this business is. It's like on repeat every day. I'm still doing basically the same things that I was doing 3 years ago with some things added on. But to sum it up, the basics have to be number one. You can't get through a month without liking and commenting and creating new relationships, or starting new conversations, or sending those follow-ups and sending those invites. That has to be number one. And on top of that, you have to be committed to yourself. What are your own personal goals? How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling physically? Are you committed to a program? Are you really showing people progress? Or are you kind of just, you know, like I said, just treading water, not really looking for much challenge? It might seem like you can get by with that. Are you going to take things to the next level and reach the goals that you probably have for yourself this month? Probably not. So just being honest, you gotta challenge yourself first personally to then see your business grow mentally, physically, emotionally. And I would challenge you financially too. Challenge yourself financially as well. I feel like that's pretty much it. Basically, guys, take your goal and break it down. If I want to grow my Instagram following by 200 people, then that's about 6 to 7 new follows a day. So that means I'm going to go follow a crap ton of people. I'm going to go like and comment a crap ton of people each day, probably averaging like 30 to 50. And then I'm going to do the cleaner at the end of the week, and I'm going to see what comes out of that. I know Stephanie's been crushing Instagram. Kelsey did an amazing call and taught us all of the basics on that. But set those benchmarks throughout your month, so it's not 20 days later and you're like, oh, I didn't do anything towards my goals. I haven't checked in once about what I'm trying to achieve. I haven't thought once about how I'm going to bring that new coach on. And when your goal is to hit Success Club in the first 10 days, guess what your posting should look like? Challenge group, fitness journey, transformations. My social media is going to reflect in the next 10 days what my goals are in the next 10 days. It's going to be talking about my challenge group, talking about the fitness transformations, talking about what's possible, inviting people publicly. And then the next week, I have a coach sneak peek. I'm going to transition. And I'm going to start bringing all of those people from my challenge group this past month. I'm going to be inviting them into my coach sneak peek. Do you guys like see how when you know like what you're working toward, you can plan your daily action to match up to that. So that's honestly all I have. Do you want to add anything, Kels, or anybody that's on here?
I think I was telling my team earlier today, and just because I did a live video for them. So sorry for those of you that have already heard this, but I told them, you know, it's easy for us to write down, and Mac, you crush it. So really good job on this, by the way. It's really cool seeing what you do every month. I think that it's really easy to write down a goal, right? I mean, it's super easy to say, like, write down a list of things you're going to achieve in a month. Like, I'm going to hit Success Club 50. I'm going to be a diamond coach. I'm going to help Christine Haney achieve Emerald, right? I just see all her face over there, and she's freaking crushing life. So I just want to shout her out. It's super easy to like say, like, I'm going to do these things. But if you don't have a plan of action, like, they won't happen. And I look at my past couple of months, and I actually had some fun yesterday going back through because as you guys saw, I put in the Misfit page also the bell, and my team has been doing the bell for 2 years, and they love it. We freaking post gifts. It ends up being like 500 comments long every month. It's so much fun. And I posted it for you guys today, but the one thing that I was looking back on was previous months, because the first thing you guys saw me ask was, what are your goals for the month? And yesterday I just had some fun. I looked back at what some of the goals that I set for myself in previous months. And I always realized what things I accomplished to the things that I did not accomplish. And it was that the things I didn't accomplish, I didn't understand how much work was going to go into those things. So it's easy to write down, like last month, I was like, I'm going to hit Success Club 50. I hit Success Club 22. And 22 is great, but it's not what I set out for myself, right? And I didn't realize the work. So I told my team this today, and I'm just going to pass on to the rest of you, is that you have to have a plan. Like, you need to take those goals today. And this is exactly what I did. And I had my team do is take those goals you wrote down and say, okay, now what do I need to do to make it happen? So if last month you said you were going to hit Success Club 10, but you only hit Success Club 6, how many invites did you send? This is why tracking is so important. You know, you don't need to have every single name written down, but you need to know, you have to tally it. You need to know how many invites you're sending. How many invites did you have to send to get one yes? And if you're going for Success Club 50 this month and you only hit Success Club 10 last month, you should kind of figure out the little algorithm there on what you're going to need to be doing to make it happen. You know, I want to push for 10 business builders this month to bring onto our team, but I only brought on 3 last month. So how many people did I invite? How many people do I need to increase that to this upcoming month? So it's honestly it's a numbers game. And as much as people like don't want to say it like that, it truly is. It's like, how many people do I need to invite? And you need to have it written out. And then it has to become a non-negotiable every single day to take action on those steps, or they will not happen. So if Shaun T's test group really excites you, and guys, it should really, really excite you to be in a test group. It's life-changing. For me, I'm pushing for it. Like, I'm going for it. And I know, and I honestly took today to write out exactly what I knew I needed to do to have a record-breaking number of elite points this month. And I'm ready for it. I need to do more than I've ever done before. And what do you guys need to do? You know, for new coaches, 2018 coaches, you know you need to be in the top 20, right? For diamond and below, you guys know that you need to have a lot of Success Club points. So what are you going to do to get your highest numbers? You've got to figure out the math. How many people do you need to be talking to? How am I going to go about every single day unapologetically to make shit happen? I'm not going to hold this back from anyone. If you're pushing for this retreat on the 23rd, you know, and you want to be a diamond coach by the 23rd, and my team, you guys know we have a huge goal we're pushing for by the 23rd right now, you know, so what are we going to do? How many people do we need to introduce the business to get to diamond? You know, how many people do I need to talk to? How many people did I sign up as a challenger that I can talk about converting? You know, we have to figure that out. So if you don't have that written out yet, take all those tips that Matt gave you and then create a solid game plan. Like that you're going to attack every single day and go for it every single day and and my challenge to you guys this month is get your invites done the moment you wake up. Mm-hmm. Like when you're within your first hour, get them done, send them out, be ready. And the second thing I want to say to you about your invites is make them so personal. Don't start scripting because people will ignore you. Take this month to use their names, to compliment them about something on their page, to love on them, to relate to them. If you really get to their page and you find out that you have 0 things in common, don't just send them an invite because you need to send another invite. You know, like it doesn't do you any good because they're not going to say yes anyway if they have nothing in common with you. So today, whenever I'm used to busting out 30 to 50 invites a day, and today I only got out 10. And they were 10 genuine invitations, like straight from my heart invitations where I used her name, I complimented her page, I talked about what I could relate to on there, and I said, hey, I'm doing this thing, would you want to join me? And I'm going to be unapologetic. I'm going to do everything that Max said too. I'm going to reach out to all old challengers, all my no's. I'm going to do those things. But I want you guys to take these things that we're saying tonight and actually implement them, because I'm telling you what, it's really easy to write a goal down on paper, but it's a whole other story to start acting on them and to really get yourself toward those goals. Anybody on this call can achieve whatever you want. And like Max said, get to Emerald in 24 hours. Do it. You know, if Diamond's something that you want, then ask your upline to mentor you there. Diamond is not hard. You know, it's not. You know, finding your people. How are you going to find your people if you're not talking to people? You know, you have to start taking those steps. So figure out what those steps are and go after your goals, guys. And then the last thing I have is set your deadlines.
Yeah.
Like, like I have my things are marked in front of me on when I need to be in certain qualifications, and make sure your team knows about it. Make sure they're on board with you. If you're pushing to become a diamond team, then your team needs to know you're pushing to be a diamond team. Star Diamond qualification, same thing. And then go for it together. This month it's kind of like a new beginning. And what you do this month will be determining the rest of your year.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind.
I love that. That's so true. It's like a turning point month. Pivot month. Does anybody have any questions?
Quick thing, Mac.
Oh, what?
I was going to add one quick thing. So my team is also making vision boards in addition to all this goal setting. Actually, none of the coaches I have right now were even here when we did that in January or February. So I feel like it's a really great place in the middle of the year where like momentum is high, energy is high, not only to write them down and attach the emotions and the work to it, but actually visualize it as well. Those of us who are here at the beginning of the year, we know how powerful that is. So we're doing that exercise, and it's due on Friday in my team.
I just redid mine and revamped mine, actually. So I recommend you guys like redo it, remake one, and reattach new emotions to your goals. Because at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter unless you're emotionally and unless you're attached to what you're working toward. You know what I mean? We can sit here and talk about Diamond all day, but to me, Diamond meant, one step closer to leaving my bartending job and, being more financially secure. And it meant freedom, one step closer to freedom, So like understand what your goals mean to you and don't be afraid to aim really freaking high. But like Kelsey said, make sure you understand the work that's going to go into it. Don't, sit here and be like, I'm going to be 10-star in 30 days, because unless you're willing to sacrifice everything you got to make that happen, it won't happen. And you can be disappointed about that, or you can, like she said, set the goal and own the work that's required for it. Okay. So, anybody else? I say we get off here and get our booties to work, because I've got more invites to send out too. All right, guys. Well, have an awesome, awesome week. I can't wait to see how people have advanced in the next 7 days because of how we just gave you this game plan to do that. Break it down. Don't freak out about it. It's not as crazy as it seems when you break it down day by day. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later. Bye.